Hello and welcome to the complete compendium reading of SMT3 Nocturne. Now, shout out to Sabaka on steamlist.com for the save. This is a complete reading of every single compendium item within this game.
Welcome to the Cathedral of
let's
Shadows,
get started with, we'll do them in level order. Let's start with Willow Wisp. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Profile and just go through them. Willow Wisp. One of the more famous names for the mysterious light seen over swamps. They are the souls of those who failed to go to the afterlife, instead wander the wilderness, misleading travelers. Next, Kodama. In Japanese mythology, they are the spirits of plants. They are born from trees that live 100 years. Preta. They are hungry ghosts, as they are unable to swallow food. This is a punishment in reincarnation. One with too many desires in life is doomed to spend time as a preta. Shikigami. A common demon often used by Japanese sorcerers called onmyoji. They are used for many things, from common household chores to cursing others. Just your wide variety of things. Hua Pao. Tree spirits in Chinese mythology that are born when 3 or more people hang themselves from the same tree. My god, this one's dark compared to the other ones so far. They cannot talk, though they can chirp like birds. They will dry up if they don't receive water. Okay. Slime. A primitive life form made of a jelly-like substance. Slime have no true origin, though they say these creatures enjoy collecting shiny objects. Zen. A bird in Chinese mythology said to have poison in its feathers because it eats poisonous snakes. Dipping a feather into wine will turn it into a deadly poison, able to kill anyone with 1 drop. So far I'm seeing a trend with the Chinese ones in that they seem to be darker than the other ones so far. We'll see if that trend continues. Mo-ryo. Spirits of those who could not ascend to heaven in Japanese folklore. Some have evil intent, but they are fairly weak. Datsue-ba. A demoness in Japanese mythology. She rips the clothes off those crossing the river Sanzu who don't have the money to pay the boat fare. She then hangs them on the tree Uryuju to weigh their sin. Okay, turns out that pretty much all mythology is messed up. Jack Frost, an elf-like creature who is the embodiment of all that is cool. It is said that he is the one who leaves those beautiful ice patterns on windows in the morning. He is pretty cool. Earthis, a living embodiment of one of the 4 major elements, Earth. Alright. Lilim. The children of Lilith. Like their mother, they have sex with men at night. Their legend spread to Greece, where they are known as Hose. Apsaras. Water spirits in Hindu mythology. They are beautiful young women who dance for the gods. High Pixie. A leader of the Pixies. Only pixies with power, charisma, and that special something are awarded this title. Koronzon. A demon that was summoned by a sorcerer named Crowley at the beginning of the 20th century. When he lost control of the demon, it possessed him. It is the last hurdle in conquering the dark side of the ego. Angel. 9th of the 9 orders of angels. The Watchers who never sleep. Among these are the guardian angels who are assigned to every human at birth. Eros. A living embodiment of one of the 4 major elements. Wind. Sudama. Earth spirits in Japanese mythology. They are born from ancient trees and boulders. They are not evil, but will transform into humans or monsters to warn people not to infiltrate their mountains. Inugami. Spirits of dogs said to possess humans in Japanese folklore. Those possessed go crazy. Onmyoji, or Japanese sorcerers, summon them to do their will. Shiisa. A mythical creature said to protect homes from evil. It is especially well known in the Ryukyu Islands of Japan. Nozuchi, a Japanese earth spirit. It hides in the grass or in the shade. It's not evil, but it's a bit violent and may harm a human if it sees one. Isora, a Japanese god of the seashore. He can control water. Not a lot is known about him apparently. He's got 2 things and he's good at those 2 things. Aquinas, a living embodiment of one of the 4 major elements. Water. Blob, an infamous jelly-like monster. It swallows humans and grows. It is said the only way to stop blobs is to freeze them. Yaka, demons of disease in Sri Lankan mythology. Masks of them are made so that shamans can talk with them. They can be summoned and exorcised through ritual dancing while wearing the mask. Bicorn, an evil creature that looks like a horse with 2 curving horns. It is said to be the opposite of a chichivachi. Take Minakata, revered as the god of hunting in Japanese mythology, he fought Take Mizakuzuchi for possession of Japan and lost. I assume this is why he has no arms. Fomorian. Fomorians are Celtic giants of evil. Many are hideous looking creatures like trolls. Led by Baelor, they fend off invaders. Nekomata. Incarnations of the long-living cats in Japanese mythology. They can speak to humans and, depending on their power, can do various things. Some can turn into humans, while others can have the dead do their bidding. Archangel. 8th of the 9 orders of angels. They are responsible for ministering to humans and delivering messages. They are at constant war with the fallen angels. Amino Izumi. A goddess of entertainment. Her name means the terrifying female of heaven. She is famous for luring Amaterasu out of hiding with her seductive dancing. Her husband is Saru Tahiko. Jack-o'-lantern. An Irish farmer who convinced the devil not to take him to hell. But since he was refused entry into heaven, he wanders the earth as a soul with a pumpkin for a head. As you do. Koppetengu. A smaller member of the Tengu race with less power than other Tengu. It is believed to be an incarnation of an old wolf and capable of eventually transforming into Karasu Tengu. Chatterskull, a creature of folklore from Dominica. It is a living skull that gives out a piercing laugh. It is said that the hearts of those who hear its laugh will immediately stop. Taraka, a female Vitala in Hindu mythology. In the Ramayana, Rama managed to cut off her arms, and even though she turned invisible, he was able to slay her. Fornius, one of the 72 demons of the Goetia. He appears as a great sea monster. He is skilled in languages and is a master of rhetoric. Flamus, a living embodiment of one of the 4 major elements, fire. Momu Nofu, a god of war in ancient Japanese mythology. He is a subordinate of another ancient god, Arihabaki. It is said that Momotaro, a legendary hero, was based off of him. Unicorn, a legendary white horse with a spiral horn on its forehead. It can only be tamed by a pure maiden. Its horn supposedly has miraculous healing capabilities. Makami, a divine beast in Japanese mythology. They are often used to ward off evil, especially thefts and fire. There is also a belief that it eats people. Wolves can become Makakami. I just like it's like, oh, they're used to ward off evil, especially thefts and fire, and it's like, yeah, but they could also eat you. Okay. Bad Bakatha, the Celtic goddess of war. She often assumes the form of a crow. As such, her name means battle crow. She was part of the war goddess triad. She would take part in battle as well as use her magic to confuse soldiers. This, goddess of fertility in Scandinavian mythology. Aesir, Vanir, and the Valkyries are usually considered Disir, plural of Dis. Xuan Yu, one of the Xu Ling celestial creatures in Chinese mythology. It represents the direction north and the season winter and element water, and is one of the few Chinese ones we've had that wasn't incredibly dark, although it does look very cool. I haven't seen this one. I don't think we encountered it at all in the game, which is interesting. Kikuri Hime, the goddess of life in Japanese mythology. She once mediated between Izanagi and Izanami during their confrontation in Yomi, the land of the dead. Raiju, Japanese mythical creatures said to fall to the earth along with thunder. They usually run through the clouds, but come down riding on lightning. They are said to resemble weasels. Incubus, a male demon of popular European folklore during the medieval ages. They visit women in their sleep and have sexual intercourse with them. The offspring resulting from this will become witches and wizards. That adds a new backstory to Harry Potter. Oni, a common demon in Japanese mythology. A powerful red creature with a horn on its head that attacks villages with its iron club and plunders food, riches, and women. Aramitama, one of the four aspects of the human soul as described in Shinto teachings. It is associated with aggressiveness. Kelpie. The Kelpie is an evil water demon that lurks in lakes and rivers. If a traveller stops by a lake to rest and sees a horse grazing, it may be a Kelpie. Trying to mount a horse will only result in the traveller ending up in the lake. Senri. I don't think we ran into this creature because I would have remembered it. A Japanese monster born from a lynx. It absorbs spirits from men by transforming into a beautiful woman. It is said that other monsters collect spirits to become a Senri. Zuchouten, Protector of the South, is one of the four heavenly kings in Buddhist mythology. Zayezhai. It is said that this mythical creature of Japanese mythology can see through lies and with its horn gores a liar. Black Ooze, a mass of malevolent intent and emotion that failed to become a true demon. All it does is eat, prey, and grow. Naga. Half snake, half human, they are divine beings in Hindu mythology. They are worshipped as bringers of fertility. Principality. The seventh of the 9 orders of angels. They are the guardians of cities and nations, as well as the protectors of various religions. Karasu Tengu, a member of the Tengu race in Japanese mythology. It is said to have a beak like that of a crow. It attempts to corrupt people by haunting them. Eligor, one of the 72 demons of the Goetia. He looks like a knight and has the power to see things to come. He also knows much about wars. Niji Mitama, one of the 4 aspects of the human soul as described in Shinto teachings. It is associated with gentleness. Matador, a Spanish death god born from the pursuit of aesthetics and slaughtering. With his terrifying espada, he now preys on humans rather than bulls. Sarasvati. In Hindu mythology, she is the goddess of rivers and a patroness of speech, writing, learning, and of the arts and sciences. Brahma is her husband. Nui, a legendary monster in Japanese mythology. It has the head of a monkey, the arms and legs of a tiger, and the tail of a snake. It was first discovered hidden in a black cloud as it attacked an emperor's palace. Yomotsu Shikomi, a demoness in Japanese mythology that lives in Yomi, the netherworld. She is the first demon Izanami sends after Izanagi. Kushi Mitama, one of the 4 aspects of the human soul as described in Shinto teachings. It is said to bring good luck in the areas of health and medicine. Valkyrie, choosers of the slain in Norse mythology. Armed with shining armor and spears, they look for the brave to take them to Valhalla so they may fight in Ragnarok. Power. The 6th of the 9 orders of angels. It is said that they were the first order to be created. Their duty is to protect the souls of humans from demons. Kokuten. Kokuten, protector of the West, is one of the 4 heavenly kings of Buddhist origin. Orthrus. The 2-headed pet dog belonging to the giant Geryon in Greek mythology. He guarded a herd of red oxen and fought Hercules. Mizuchi, a water spirit in Japanese mythology. It appears around lakes full of fish. It has the ability to use illusions to trick its enemies. Arahabaki, a major deity in ancient Japanese mythology. Clay dolls were often sculpted in its image. Because this god was worshipped by a rebel, the dolls came to be considered symbols of defiance. Baphomet, an idol commonly worshipped by the Knights Templar. It is a demon with the head of a goat. This figure later became the idol for worship for witches as well. Saru Tahiko. During the descent of the gods to Earth, he was the first to welcome them. Later he married Ami no Uzumi. Saki Mitama, one of the 4 aspects of the human soul as described in Shinto teachings. It is said to bring good luck in hunting and fishing. Zuki, one of the Suling celestial creatures in Chinese mythology. It represents the direction south, the season summer, and the element fire. It is commonly compared to the phoenix of Western mythology. Succubus, a female demon in popular European folklore during the medieval ages. They visit men in their sleep and have sexual intercourse with them. The victims won't wake up during sex, but may have a dream about it. Nagaraja, the king of the serpent people in Hindu mythology. He is the largest of all those that live in the ocean. Berith, one of the 72 demons of the Goetia. He rides a gigantic horse and burns those without manners. He is the Duke of Hell. Ongkhot, a monkey god in Hindu mythology. He is the general of Hanuman's army. In the Ramakien, Thailand's national epic, it is written that he fought with a giant and freed it from its curse. Kurama Tengu, a member of the Tengu race in Japanese mythology. They are the most powerful and popular of all Tengu. They have the power to fend off evil spirits and attract good luck. Troll, an ugly, violent giant of Scandinavian myth. It is often portrayed as a creature that lives under bridges. It is incredibly strong, but easily outsmarted. Horus, an ancient god of Egypt whose eyes are the sun and moon. He was revered by some as the principal god, and he is often depicted as a hawk or a falcon. Okuninushi, a terrestrial deity and descendant of Susanoo, and he is an important god in Japanese Izumo mythology. He is a peaceful god who prefers not to fight. Virtue, the 5th of the 9 orders of angels, also known as the Shining Ones. They work miracles and support those struggling with their faith. Kushinada. Kushinada Hime is a goddess in Japanese mythology. When she was human, she was saved from the 8-headed serpent Yamata no Orochi by the storm god Susanoo, whom she wedded. Hellbiker, a biker turned fiend that claims to come from hell. With an intense hatred of himself and the world, his reliance solely on his own power turned him into this abominable figure. I like how a lot of them are mythology, but the fiends seem to be a little bit more separated. They seem to just be like, here's a backstory for our original character kind of ones. Anyway. Phantom, a common type of ghost seen in Western cultures. They are apparitions made up of the negative emotions of people. Pisaka, a type of demon in Hindu mythology that arises from the vices of men such as criminals, drunkards, and adulterers. It enters through an opening in the body and influences its host's actions. Yaksini, semi-divine beings in Hindu mythology. They are the female equivalent to Yaksas. They are followers of Kubera, the god of wealth, and have come to represent wealth themselves. Sitanta, a brave young man in Celtic myth. After defeating a fierce guard dog, he volunteered to take its place, thus earning himself the nickname Kulan's Hound. Baihu, one of the Su Ling celestial creatures in Chinese mythology. It represents the direction west and the season autumn and the element metal. Qing Long, one of the Su Ling celestial creatures in Chinese mythology. It represents the direction east, the season spring, and the element wood. Yomotsu Ikusa, demons in Japanese mythology said to have lived in Yomi, the netherworld. They are the army that Izanami sends after Izanagi. Jinn, a spirit in Arabic mythology that grants its summoner powers. Commonly known as a genie, it can transform itself into a human or an animal to influence others. Dionysus, the Greek god of wine and orgies. He had 2 births. When his mother died while pregnant with him, Zeus took the premature infant and let him mature to proper birth in his thigh. As you do. Sakahagi, an evil mannequin that was reborn, called back into the world by the afterlife bell. Because of his doings in the previous life, he has gained new powers. Pazuzu, the king of the desert in Mesopotamian mythology. He has the wings of an angel, arms and legs of a lion, and the tail of a scorpion. It is said that the disease he brings with him cannot be cured. Osi, one of the 72 demons of the Goetia. He is known as the Great President of Hell. He can shapeshift from a leopard into a man. He imparts wisdom through the sciences and reveals the truth about divine mysteries. Take Mikazuchi, the god of thunder in Japanese mythology. He carries the divine sword Totsuka no Tsurugi and is said to be the founder of ancient sumo wrestling. Yata Karasu, a divine creature in Japanese mythology. They are 3-legged ravens that Amaterasu sent to help humans. It is said that they helped Emperor Jinmu claim victory. Hanuman, the hero of Hindu descent. He can transform into anything, fly, and has great strength. He performed many heroic deeds in the Ramayana. He is depicted as a monkey. Oberon, the king of the fairies whose wife is Titania. As a child, a curse was placed on him and he has not grown any larger since. Kaiwan, a god in Assyrian mythology. He is associated with the planet Saturn. Usually he is grouped with another god, Sakut. Atavaka, originally a child-eating demon and one of the 8 attendants of Bishamonten. I was just thinking we weren't having a lot of weird and dark ones, and then we get to the child-eating demon. He was converted by Buddha and became a protector of the Yaksa. Southwest is the direction he protects. Hulu Kishi. In Hindu mythology, he is a god with an elephant's head and a third eye on his forehead. Although his look suggests Ganesha's influence, he is thought to have originally been a local god of Tibet. I don't think we saw this one in game when we played through. Legion, the spirit who said, "For we are many," in ancient scriptures. The name comes from the Roman military term for an army unit of 3,000 to 6,000 men. Titan, the children of Gaia and Uranus in Greek mythology. They ruled the land as gods before the Olympians overthrew them. Dominion, the 4th of the 9 orders of angels. Their duty is to oversee the other angels. It is said that the success or failure of a nation is decided by this order. Sati, Shiva's first consort in Hindu mythology, she threw herself into a sacrificial fire in protest of her father's mistreatment of Shiva. Reincarnated as Parvati, she was reunited with Shiva. Naisoju, a monk who died while fasting for the sake of his people. Because of his spiritual power, his body continues to exist without rotting. It is said that he will appear in front of people on the day of salvation. White Rider, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He rides on a white horse and carries a bow. He was given a crown and is bent on conquest. Kokuten, a legendary hero in Celtic folklore. His name means Kulain's Hound, and his true name is Sutanta. I was going to say, did we not already see Kulain's Hound? There are many tales of his exciting adventures with his spear, Geibulg. Shadow. It can transform into any person it sees. It is said that whomsoever meets it will die within a few days, and much folklore stems from this creature. They may also become physical incarnations of psychological ailments. Loki, a major deity of Norse mythology. He is known as a trickster and has had clashes with the other gods. He is a blood brother to Odin, but later was involved in the death of Odin's son, Balder, and was punished. The Kini, divine beings found in Tibetan and Buddhist doctrines. Their name means she who traverses the sky. It is said they serve the Indian mother goddess, Kali, and carry the souls of the dead to the sky. Ifrit, a spirit in Arabic mythology that can control fire. It is said it will do its summoner's bidding, but it will burn those it doesn't like to ashes. Kokuten, of Buddhist origin. Kokuten is one of the 4 heavenly kings and protects the east. He is also known as Dhritarashtra. I think I butchered that name, but we'll move on. Loa, a group of divinities worshipped in voodoo religion. They control forces of nature and influence human activities. Some also have powerful magic, which they use to curse others. Chiki Uji, a powerful creature often summoned by Japanese sorcerers called Omiyoji. They are used both to hurt and to heal, but their true nature is said to be very violent. Suparna, a legendary bird in Hindu mythology. Its name means one with beautiful wings. It can create wind by flapping its wings and can change its size at will. Huitian Dasheng. Huitian Dasheng was supposedly born from a rock. He wreaked havoc throughout the land and was punished by Buddha, but was eventually saved by a monk named Tang Sanxiang. Lakshmi. In Hindu mythology, she is the goddess of beauty and good fortune. She is the wife of Vishnu and the mother of Kama, the god of love. It is believed that she was born from the froth of an ocean of milk. Red Rider, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He rides on a red horse and holds a great sword. He has the power to disrupt peace and drive men to fight against each other. Gomagog, a giant said to have lived in ancient England. It is said he could rip a tree from its roots as easily as an ordinary man could rip a vegetable from the ground. He battled fiercely against Cornelius, the legendary hero of Cornwall. Quetzalcoatl, one of the major deities of the Aztecan mythology. He is called Feathered Serpent. He created humans by sprinkling blood on the bones of people from a previously created world. Chimera, the offspring of Typhon and Echidna. This monster in Greek mythology is part lion, part goat, and part dragon. Queen Mab, the queen of the fairies. Stemming from Celtic mythology, she is often seen as one and the same as Titania, Oberon's wife. She would give mead mixed with her blood to her many consorts. Amaterasu, the Japanese sun goddess who rules over the high plane of heaven. Her name means she who illuminates the heavens. She was born from Izanagi's left eye. Titania, Queen of the Fairies and wife to Oberon. She is derived from Diana in Roman mythology and is immortalized in Shakespeare's play A Midsummer Night's Dream. Parvati. This beautiful goddess of love is one of Shiva's wives in Hindu mythology. She won Shiva's love despite the fact that he was an ascetic. Ganesha. The elephant-headed god in Hindu mythology. He was originally created by Parvati out of dirt to prevent anyone from watching her bathe. Shiva knocked his head off, but replaced it with an elephant's head. Girimakala. A giant elephant of Sri Lankan mythology. It is typically portrayed as being ridden by Mara, the evil one. Whoever looks into its evil eye is said to be met with misfortune. Clotho. One of the three Moray sisters in Greek mythology. She is the spinner of the threads of fate. Dekarabia, one of the 72 demons of the Goatia. He comes in the shape of a star and has vast knowledge of herbs and jewels. He can also control birds at will. Kinki, one of the 4 Oni Chikata Fujiwara was said to have controlled during the Heian period of Japan. His body was so tough, swords and arrows bounced off of him. Barong. A mystical creature in Balinese legend. It represents good and is Rangda's eternal rival. Even if defeated, it will be reborn. The result is a never-ending struggle. Mothman. A mysterious, unidentified being that was spotted in West Virginia around the 1960s. It was regarded as a parody of a popular superhero at the time. Black Rider. One of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He rides on a black horse and holds a scale in his hands. He causes famine, starving people to death, but leaves the luxuries intact. Cerberus. The feared guard dog of Hades in Greek mythology. His parents were the giants Typhon and Echidna. He is the brother of Orthrus. Bai Dao Xingquan. Xingzhon? Anyway, according to Chinese mythology, Bai Dao Xingzhon. Anyway, it doesn't quite roll off the tongue, that one, I must be saying it wrong. Or the wise man of the North Star, determines the moment one is born. Suki, one of the 4 Oni Chikata Fujiwara, was said to have controlled during the Heian period of Japan. He could cause floods with the swing of his arms. Pale Rider, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He rides on a pale horse and Hades follows behind him. Gurulu, a demon that takes the shape of a giant bird in Sri Lankan mythology. It is rumoured to be a derivation of Garuda. Garuda, a divine birdman in Hindu mythology. He hunts Nagas as a result of a dispute between their mothers. He fought with the gods once and was granted immortality in exchange for becoming Vishnu's carrier. Vatala, a type of Preta in Hindu and Buddhist mythology. Classified as powerful ghosts, they come in different shapes and forms. Some are skinny, some are fat, some are tall, some are short. They can control the dead and eat humans. We haven't had a good human eater in a while. Lachesis, one of the 3 Moray sisters in Greek mythology. She is the apportioner, measuring the thread which determines each person's lifespan. Futomimi, a good mannequin that was reborn, called back into the world by the afterlife bell. Because of his doings in the previous life, he has gained new powers. Albion, the ruler of ancient Britain. He is the first giant of Britain. It is said that he was born from Amphitrite, the wife of Poseidon. Throne, the 3rd of the 9 orders of angels. They are charioteers who have 4 wings and 4 heads. They are angels of knowledge. Skatchath, a great warrior and prophetess of Celtic mythology, also known as the Shadowy One. She taught Cu Chulainn martial arts and gave him his famous spear, Ge Mbulk. Her sister is Ifi. Taoti, a monster feared in Chinese mythology. This gargoyle-like creature has a never-ending appetite that allows it to eat everything it sees. It has come to represent greed. Odin. In Norse mythology, he is the god of wisdom and father of the gods. He rides Sleipnir, his 8-legged horse, while carrying his spear, Gungnir, and wearing his ring, Drofnir. Black Frost. A Jack Frost that wished for evil powers. He wandered the Vortex world He wandered the Vortex world gaining power until he finally achieved his goal. He may look cute, but he is in fact quite dangerous. Fuki. One of the 4 Oni Chi-Kata Fujiwara was said to have controlled during the Heian period of Japan. He could control the winds and blow all his enemies away. Urolungur. In Oceanian folklore, he is a giant copper python. He is known as the Rainbow Serpent because the water in the well he lives in shines like a rainbow. Atropos. One of the 3 Moray sisters in Greek mythology. She cuts the life threads of those whose time have come. Flauros. One of the 72 demons of the Goetia. He appears as a leopard and can see the past and future. He can control fire and burn all his adversaries to death. Mother Harlot, also known as the Whore of Babylon, riding a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, she carries a golden cup filled with abominations and the filth of her acts. Abaddon, the destroyer and angel of the bottomless pit, as described in ancient scriptures. He controls locusts and with them causes massive destruction to villages. Nyx, the goddess of the night in Greek mythology. She was born out of chaos and gave birth to many offspring including light, aether, day, Hemera, death, Thanatos, and the Moray sisters. Kali. According to Hindu mythology, she is a consort of Shiva. Also known as the Black One, she is the symbol of destruction. She is typically depicted as a fearsome figure wearing a chain of human heads. Rangda, the wicked witch in Balinese folklore. She represents evil and is Barong's eternal rival. Even if she is defeated, she will come back to life. Their battle has no end. Bishamonten, the strongest of the 4 heavenly kings, also known as Tamonten, and in Buddhist mythology, Vaishravana. He protects the north and is the god of war. Uriel, one of the 4 major archangels. His name means Flame of God. He knows all of the celestial phenomena. He is also the first angel Satan met on Earth. Surt, a fire giant in Norse mythology. He rules the realm of fire, Muspelheim, and brandishes a sword of fire. In Ragnarok, he will set the world ablaze. Skadi, a giantess called the snowshoe goddess. She is the embodiment of winter. According to legend, all the gods will return to her at the end of Ragnarok. Bresvelgr, a giant eagle in Norse mythology who lives at the top of Yggdrasil. One flap of his wings can create storms. He is always fighting with Nidhogg, the giant serpent at the bottom of the tree. Samael, a mysterious angel with the name Poison of God. He is often depicted as a serpent. There are some theories that he is a fallen angel, but some say he is still an angel. Either way, he is associated with death. Thor. In Norse mythology, he is the son of Odin and the god of thunder. He wears the belt Mejingjard, which doubles his strength. Lightning flashes whenever he throws his hammer, Mjolnir. Trumpeter, an angel that is said to be the one to sound the trumpet at the time of the apocalypse. As each trumpet sounds, more and more plagues and disasters will occur, turning the earth into a land of death and suffering. Isil. According to the mystic Cornelius Agrippa, he is the prince of Gehenna, one of the 7 levels of hell. His name means the son of night. He is commonly seen as one and the same with Abaddon and Satan. Mitra, an ancient Iranian god of contracts. He was also worshipped as a sun god. At the end of time, he will descend from the heavens and raise the dead for final judgment. Lilith. She is said to have been Adam's first wife. Refusing to obey Adam, she left Eden and became a demon of the night. There are several theories of her leaving and fall, and they all depict her as unfaithful. Pixie. In English mythology, they are fairies of the forest that love to play tricks on people. They can also be hard workers when necessary. That one actually feels like it's got a lot of shade on it. It's like, they can also be hard workers when necessary. It's like the thing you'd put on a report card to be like, please try harder. Yongyo Ki, one of the 4 Oni Chi Kata Fujiwara, was said to have controlled during the Heian period of Japan. He had the power to disappear and make images of himself, leading people to believe that he is the originator of ninjutsu. Mada, a god in Hindu mythology created by the sage Chiyavana. His name means intoxication. He is said to be able to grow so big he can swallow all of the other gods. Raphael, one of the 4 major archangels. His name means healer. He explains the history of the fallen angels and the creation of Adam and Eve. Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies and the Prince of Evil. He is Satan's right-hand man. He uses flies to carry souls of the dead. It is said that he is a derivation of the Canaanite god Baal. Dante from the Devil May Cry series. A devil hunter who wandered into the Vortex world. He wields his 2 guns, Ebony and Ivory, along with his trusty sword, Rebellion. It is said that he has the blood of the legendary demon warrior Sparda in him. Gabriel, one of the 4 major angels. She is also the only female angel at this rank. Her name comes from the Sumerian word for governor. Mot, the Canaanite god of death. Every year he attempts to kill Baal, the god of fertility, only to see him raised from the dead with the help of Baal's sister, Anat. Vishnu, one of the major gods in Indian mythology. He is the preserver of the universe. It is believed that he will descend to Earth 10 times to maintain the balance of power. Michael, one of the 4 major angels. His name means, who is like God. He stands at the top of the angel hierarchy. He carries an unusually long sword that can cut through anything. Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies and the Prince of Evil. He is Satan's right-hand man. He uses flies to carry souls of the dead. It is said that he is a derivation of the Canaanite god Baal. How did I get the exact same bit wrong? So, in case you're wondering why there are 2 Beelzebubs, basically, there's human form. You level human form twice, it evolves into this one. So effectively it's the same demon, but it has 2 different forms and therefore is listed twice. Metatron, one of the most important angels in the hierarchy, yet the most mysterious. He is the scribe and advocate of heaven. And Shiva, one of the triad of main deities in Hindu mythology. He is known as the Destroyer, but is also related to regeneration. His wife is Parvati, and I believe that might be the last one. Yes, and now we're back to Willow Wisp, which means we have now read through all of the lore.
Oh, alright.
Which was all quite interesting, actually. It seems like the lower level ones tend to have, like, the craziest stories, like, you know, this one was born from people being hanged on the same tree. That's all in the lower level demons. The ones at the top end all seem to be quite civilized, really. But with that, I'm going to end this episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you somewhere in the future. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.